テンション
Welcome to the land of long live play, where greatness is always waiting. Welcome to the PlayStation experience. As usual, it's your boy Dad Ninja Dev here on a lovely Sunday afternoon. It smells like ash outside. It's really ridiculous. Living in Bakersfield surrounded by fires. It's smoky outside and it sucks. But
I almost thought you said it smelled like ass outside. I'm like, whoa, fam, what is going on where you live at?
Well, this episode's already getting an explicit take.
The funny part about that is if you live in certain portions of Bakersfield, it does smell like ass outside because of all the cows and the slaughterhouses and stuff. So yes, depending on where you live, it will smell like ass in Bakersfield. But unfortunately right now, it just smells like ash because we are surrounded by fires. I live in a bowl, so the smoke just comes over and settles. It's ridiculous.
That sucks.
It does suck. But as you heard, my main man, Delvin Cox is here with me today. How are you?
I'm doing good. I was told to tone it down because apparently my kids listen to this podcast. So in response to that, I will say, screw that. Turn down for what? Nope. I'm not trying to get anything down. Hi, Delvin and Brianna. Daddy loves you.
I mean, they live with you, so they know what you like, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
There you go. There you have it. As usual, we're also joined by the Platinum Princess herself, Miss Hayley Nicole Miller. How are you way up there in Canada?
Well, I just finished work, so I'm tired, but also yesterday was like DC Comics fan Christmas, so I'm also great at the same time. So
strap in, folks. We finna get 45 minutes of Superman content from Hayley.
No. I didn't actually get to see any of the panels. I was at work yesterday. I couldn't watch any.
Oh, thank God.
Well, this is a PlayStation podcast where we talk about video games, so we're not going deep into the DC stuff. No way.
Also, please watch Lucifer on Netflix because season 5 came out. So
I actually will second that. Lucifer is dope. I've only seen the first 2 seasons, but I enjoyed it very much.
Yeah, it's really good. Also, for those who aren't aware, season 5 is split into 2 parts because 5 was originally going to be the final season. But they'd enlarged it, so it was a 16 episode order, and then they split it into 2 parts. And then after that, they managed to get the whole cast to agree to come back for a 6th season, but that one will be the final. So now there's season 6 coming at some point as well. But I'm assuming the second half release date for season 5 will be announced in September at fandome number 2, because 12 hours before the fandome event, they announced that they were splitting the event into 2 days. So
yeah, I felt like it was going for 24 hours or something like that too.
Oh no, it did go for 24 hours. Like, it ended at 1:00 this afternoon. Jesus. But then there's another event in September on the 12th for also 24 hours. And the Lucifer panel got moved there, so I'm assuming that's where the release date for part 2 of season 5 will be announced. I've only been able to watch 1 episode of it because work. I read more of Midnight Sun, which was funny because I managed to get everyone in the Discord to agree for a second.
Yeah.
Because I typed in the Discord, I love Twilight, and then even Donnie, after just telling me not to change, was like, maybe change that.
I mean,
yeah. Hey, to be fair, she's writing 2 more books in the Twilight series, so you're gonna hear about it a lot.
That's unfortunate. We're gonna need to get you your own show for that because I won't hear. I won't stand for it. There's no Twilight talk here in PlayStation Land.
I mean, we just had Twilight talk because that's what Midnight Sun is. So
nope. Cut that out.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's just move right along into what we all have been playing. Let's start with you, Delvin. What have you been playing, bruh?
This is gonna be short because week 3 of stuff breaking down randomly. Now it's just moved to the car. I feel like it's a poltergeist somewhere. Like some strange way, somehow, some way. I don't know how this happens, but this is my life now. both of the car windows, the truck windows, just died.
Oh,
Oh man.
So I can't roll down my truck windows, which would make it very difficult to go to any drive-through in America.
break the window. Just
Yikes.
Yeah, that thought came to my mind. So
It's too hot for that.
side note, please know that was a joke. Please do not break the windows on your car or truck or vehicle of any kind. Please.
I'm gonna do that. That was windows cost. I'm
I
a
know,
poor
right?
man. I'm not buying any windows.
Delvin, that message wasn't for you. It's for those among us.
If they're dumb enough to do that, they deserve to break the windows. They deserve to take that L.
Oh,
But
man.
I have played 2 games this week.
Uh-oh.
Surprisingly, I finally got to play back Ghost of Tsushima,
Nice.
which I'm still loving. I finally reached chapter 2. Thank God.
You mean Act
Wow.
2?
You're just now in
Act
Act
2, yeah.
2. Oof.
Yes, that's how long it's been since I played it.
Right.
It's been at least 2 weeks.
So I have
Man.
to ask, are you doing side content or are you just like mainlining it?
No, I did all the side content for Act 1. Everything.
Nice.
So my character is overpowered.
As you should be.
He will not be for very long. Just a heads up.
It depends on how you
He's
play
very-
it. I felt OP the entire game. It was great.
Okay, but I think I know how Delvin's gonna play it, and he will not be overpowered for very long.
Maybe my armor, I forgot the name of the one that you call it, but it's literally at full, where it basically
Yeah.
says all hits basically take almost no damage. So I've been using that armor the whole time. I've been killing it with that game. I still love it a lot. It's awesome. I'm surprised the way Act 1 ended because it didn't go in the traditional. I don't want to spoil it, but it didn't go in the traditional way things go when you have that type of story. I'm quite sure we're going to do a spoiler cast, but I'll get into that when we do the spoiler cast.
For sure. For sure.
But I'm also playing another samurai game.
Samurai Jack.
Jack. Damn right.
Oh, yeah.
And it is not Ghost of Tsushima.
No, I would never have guessed that the Cartoon Network show Samurai Jack. Sorry, I had something else on my mind. There's a character in Doctor Who named Captain Jack, and I was about to say that instead of Samurai Jack. I would never imagine that a game based on Samurai Jack would play completely different to Ghost of Tsushima.
Yes. It is. I like it a lot. If you like Samurai Jack, you're going to like this game. It is fun. It has a lot of stuff you can do, like RPG mechanics and stuff like that. It's $39. I'm enjoying it a lot so far. If you like Samurai, like I said, you like Samurai Jack, you'll like the game. It's simplistic, but it has like a little bit of, it's like a skill tree is huge. And if you like the show and you know the story, you're going to enjoy this game. That's the best way I can describe it.
What
I
kind
like
of
it a
game
lot.
is it? Is it like a side scroller? Is it a platformer? Like, I haven't seen anything on this game at all.
It's not even a platformer. It's like third person action game.
Okay. Top down or
But kind of like top down, kind of like open worldish kind of. They put you like these big old areas you have to fight and stuff like that. It's really good. I like it. It's not very deep, but it's a $40 game, so I don't know what to expect from it.
I mean, if it's
All
got a huge skill tree, that's plenty of depth in a game like that.
Yeah, it's surprising how big the skill tree is. All the characters from Samurai Jack that you love seem like they're voiced by the actual voice actors, so that's really good.
I think they are,
Yeah.
to be honest. One sec, while you're talking, let me take a look at IMDb.
And one of the funnier moments I've had in the game is because my kids have never seen. Well, my son has watched it and loves Samurai Jack. My daughter has never seen Samurai Jack, and I'm explaining to her about Samurai Jack, and I'm explaining to her how every time Jack sees Aku, he screams up,
Aku!
and as soon as I explain it to her, he immediately does that on the screen.
Nice.
And she just busts into laughter, like, yeah, that's the kind of. joy I get from Samurai Jack. It's a great show. If you ever watched Samurai Jack, especially that last season was awesome. This is kind of I want to say it's an alternate storyline.
So, Delvin, I don't remember who voiced Samurai Jack in the show, but in the video game, it's Phil Lamar.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Phil Lamar voiced him in the show.
Okay, so then it's the same cast.
Yeah,
Nice.
It's awesome. I enjoy. And I will say this: the Cartoon Network games are usually pretty decent.
Yeah, they usually are.
Like the Steven Universe game is pretty good. Both
The
of them.
The Adventure Time games are pretty good too.
Yeah, they're fun, little distractions. They're usually not that long. They're about 8-9 hours long.
What I will say is games based on cartoons that look awful that is coming out later this year is that Nickelodeon Kart Racers game because the graphic style on it looks awful.
I will say this: the Nickelodeon games usually bad. They're usually really bad.
And you still bought that collection edition of SpongeBob.
Okay, but
SpongeBob is decent.
SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom was a great game.
It's decent. That was decent. But the Nickelodeon games that are like the ones they make today are usually really bad.
Delvin, do you remember the like Nickelodeon game that had like Danny Phantom, Timmy
Nicktoons
Turner?
Unite, I think it's called.
Yeah. That game
good.
was good, but also like the camera flipped out when you tried to go invisible as Danny. So
I remember that game. That game was pretty good.
That was a good game, and so was the sequel to it. I forget what else. There was a sequel to it as well. But after that, their art style on their games has just got really wild and ridiculous and doesn't look good at all.
Yeah, because they try to do like the 3D animation.
Yeah, on
instead
flat
of shell
backgrounds.
Yeah, and it looks horrible.
I have played none of these things. Don't even know what Danny Phantom is.
Danny Phantom is a fantastic Nickelodeon cartoon about a boy who is half human, half ghost, and fights crime. So,
I'm surprised you don't know that show because that show's pretty old. That's
and also
it's probably after I stopped watching Nickelodeon.
I mean, to be fair, it was after I stopped watching Nickelodeon too, but I found it on my own, and it's really good. There's an episode of Fairly Odd Parents that's like set in the future that the back of a comic book cover teases Danny Phantom. It's good. It's honestly my favorite Nickelodeon show. Essentially, his parents are inventors, and they can never get any of their inventions to work right. So Danny, his parents built a portal that is essentially like a portal to the ghost realm or whatnot. I forget how it's explained in the show because it's been forever, and it's not on any streaming services anymore. But essentially, he walks into it because it doesn't turn on. Accidentally hits a button on the side, boom, portal turns on. In that second, he becomes half human, half ghost, and gains superpowers and fights crime, which usually involve ghosts. So,
yeah, you lost me.
it is great. Okay, Danny Phantom is fantastic. Also, hi, I'm a giant nerd. We've established this.
And there's the episode where the rock star girl sings a song that's pretty cool. Can't remember the name.
Yeah, Amber. Her name was Amber.
Amber, you will remember. Yeah, I just like the show. The show is great.
That show is great. Also, there's like an episode. There's a couple like hour-long episodes. Like the finale of the show is an hour long, but there's also like a couple specials. There's one like where his parents, spoiler for an old show, his parents get murdered in an explosion, and he has to go like back through time to try and fix it because in that future he becomes evil, so doesn't want that to happen.
That's a cool show.
And Dev looks like he's gonna kill us.
Okay, getting back to video games. What have you been playing, Hayley?
I have played literally two things. Dead Cells, which is still great. I still run headfirst into situations and get my ass kicked because I'm an idiot. But I finally beat my first daily challenge, so that was fun. And also Batman Arkham City. I finally went back and beat the remaster. So and also I played like 5 minutes of Arkham Knight because I went to like go in and see like what I had left for like story. I left that game at like 96.5% completion, and I don't think it's getting any higher because the only thing I have left to do is Riddler challenges.
Ooh, yeah.
I'm the same way. Those Riddler challenges suck.
I mean, they don't suck. The thing is Arkham Knight did Riddler challenges in like a completely different way than City. There were like 10 tournament style rooms that you did, and you could do them regardless of your Riddler like trophy or riddle or the collectibles from the original two Arkham games. Regardless of your status on those. And once you get to the 10th one, Riddler traps himself in a cage and tells you to come back when you've collected all the Riddler trophies in the game. And I have like 275 Riddler trophies left in all of Gotham City, and I am like, nope.
That is way too many trophies.
The terrible thing about it is
this, by the way, is why I don't have any of the platinums for the Arkham games, because I'm great at the combat. I'm not great at the stealth, I will say that, but I am great at the combat. So I could do the challenge rooms, no problem. It's the Riddler trophies. And it sucks too, because hold on, because I can solve his riddles. I can solve his riddles about specific DC characters, no problem. But once you throw in those stupid timing puzzles or whatnot, I can't do any of it.
But the thing that's terrible about them is you don't technically beat the game if you don't get all the Riddler trophies.
Yeah.
That's what I hate about it. You have to get all the Riddler trophies to actually beat the game. Like, you don't get the full ending of the game unless you get all the Riddler trophies.
Oh, you mean Nightfall?
Yes.
Yeah. In Arkham Knight, yes, that's really annoying. You have to collect them all to get the true ending. Spoilers for Arkham Knight. If you don't want these and somehow haven't played Arkham Knight in the past 5.5 years now, that's on you.
I haven't. I didn't like the stupid Batmobile. I stopped playing as soon as that thing was introduced. It's like, I can't do this.
Okay. So do you care if I spoil that, or do you want to take your headphones off for a second?
I don't care.
Okay, cool. Batman's not dead. Just so we're clear. Because the ending you get shown if you don't have all the Riddler trophies is the mansion blows up and that's it. That's all you get, right? In the actual Nightfall protocol, like 100% completion, he's not dead. Is essentially what it is. So,
yeah.
I want to play that game. I probably never will. I have it. Just
I mean,
the
Batmobile. To be fair, they fixed all the issues it had at launch, and the Batmobile, while annoying, is easy to get the hang of. But the story is really good. So
yeah, I didn't finish City either. I just finished Arkham Asylum. I was the only one that finished City. I don't know what it was. I think I was just burnt out on those type of games at the time.
No, I can tell you what it was. City's story dragged on too long, and
I didn't play it long enough for it to even drag on. So for me, it was just like, I just was like, eh. I think it was just a time I just didn't feel like playing it.
That's fair. It involved too many MacGuffins because let me tell you, they wasted the introduction of Hush in Arkham City when they should have just done it full on in Night. Like, because Hush shows up in Night for like 5 minutes, but he has a whole side quest in City, and it's wasted because you can only do it after the game is finished.
I will say this. It's gonna be controversial. I like Origins the best.
It's a good story.
I love Origins' story.
I don't like one of the story twists, but yeah, I mean the story's all right. Also, like they teased a game without a big Joker component, and then Joker was the main focus of the game for like half of it. So
I like that. I like that aspect. I liked the whole thing of the black mask, the bad guy. Nope, psych. It's not the bad guy. It's actually the Joker. I thought that was awesome.
I didn't, but that's not even the main issue I had with the game. It was again, spoilers for Arkham Origins, but that's even older than Night. Batman kills Bane for like 5 minutes and then brings him back. Like,
what?
Yeah,
all right. Yeah, he straight up murders Bane and then brings him back.
Sometimes you got to murder people and bring them back. You got to redeem yourself right there in the moment.
I mean, hey,
That goes
you know
against
what?
the Bat Code, so.
It does. We also were literally not the only ones outraged. Jim Gordon is literally standing there watching him do this and outraged the entire time.
Such is
I
life.
will say this. That Deathstroke fight is amazing.
Yeah, it was. And it made me upset that the Deathstroke fight in Arkham Knight is done through the Batmobile.
It is horrible. It is awful. It is really, really bad.
You fight Deathstroke in Arkham Knight in a tank. You don't fight him hand to hand. It's like, hey, we both got tanks. Let's go at it.
It is awful. It is horrible.
Just take y'all's word for it. And we are now the Batcast. Let's see. I have been playing. Well, I finished Ghost of Tsushima. I actually platinumed it. It's one of those games where you can get the platinum trophy as you finish the game, and that is the only way I get platinums. If I can roll credits to get a platinum, I'll do it that way. So got that platinum, and I'm having Ghost withdrawals because I really want to go back and play more of it, but there's literally nothing for me to do in the game. Like, I collected all the stuff, got all the things, nothing left for me to do. But really, really enjoyed that game. Absolutely loved it. It is definitely my game of the year for right now. We'll see if any of these games in the fall can unseat it, but absolutely love that game. It is fantastic. It was a great follow-up to Last of Us 2. Yeah, I can't say any more nice things about that game. It's amazing. I loved it. It was exactly what I needed. And I'm sad that it's over. Other than that, I've just been kind of bouncing around through games trying to figure out what I want to play. Played a little bit of Horizon Zero Dawn on PC, just tweaking with the settings and stuff because it's not a really great port. It's got a lot of issues as far as frame rates and frame timing. So just been kind of messing with that a little bit.
My friend Lydia has been trying to stream it, and eventually she just gave up and started streaming Ori instead. So
yeah, I wouldn't try to stream that unless you have a dual PC setup because it just tanks your frames.
Does it look better?
It looks.
I mean, it's not really a noticeable difference unless you have like a 4K 60 frame monitor. So.
Well, yeah, I have that, so I can get it to run at 4K 60 if I turn off everything else. Otherwise, 1440p at 60 with a lot of the stuff turned up to ultra, it looks better than the PS4 version did. But I also always played the PS4 version on the performance mode instead of like the bells and whistles mode. So
yeah.
It looks just sharper. I guess that's the best way I can say it. If I had like a widescreen monitor, it might look better, but all I can say is that it just looks sharper. It looks like the game you remember playing. You know how they always say, looking at stuff, you have those rose-colored glasses for what it looked like. So playing it on PC, it kind of just reminds me of playing it on PS4, but it does feel a little bit smoother. Other than that, I don't think I've really played anything else. So just kind of waiting for Avengers to actually fully release. I thought about jumping into the beta, but I was like, nah, I've already done that. I'll just wait for it to fully come out in a few weeks, and that'll be the next game that I jump into.
So I have to ask, where are you getting it?
PS4, because that's where Spider-Man is.
Facts.
Yeah, so I already pre-ordered it, getting it on PS4 because that's where Spider-Man is going to be. So I'm just gonna get it there. Plus, when I get the PS5, I get the better version.
Yeah,
no big deal. So. Yep, that's all I've been playing. Oh, I did jump back into Spider-Man to try to finish out all of that storyline just because I felt like finishing out that storyline. So I haven't finished all the DLC. I think I'm on the last part, so I may finish that before Avengers comes out just to finish all the stories there because I really enjoyed it.
I will say about the Spider-Man DLCs, they got really annoying with the Gatling gun guys. Those guys got super annoying.
Those guys do suck. You're absolutely right. I can't stand those gun guys. They're a pain in the neck.
They are worse than the Sable guys. And the Sable guys aren't even that bad once you get their movements timed right.
Yeah.
But the Gatling gun guys are just annoying. They pretty much limited me to one suit power because I had to use the one that webbed everyone up to the wall because that was the only one that would effectively neutralize them super quick.
What's funny is that's the only suit power that I use the entire game. I used
I-
just that suit
yeah.
power and just that suit the entire game because everything else just didn't feel like that useful. I was like, I like this. I can just whip everybody real quick.
The
But
guitar one looked cool, but was kind of pointless.
yeah, I find it so
So-
hard to go back to that game and play. It's trying to remember all the button combos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That took me a cool minute just to try to remember and get back into the game. But still love it. Still a great game. Can't wait for Miles Morales. It's gonna be awesome. And eventually Spider-Man 2.
Yes. Yep. Don't worry, we've got stuff about that.
So that's what I've been playing. Let's move along. Let's get into these messages because we do have quite a few. So our first question comes from the pastor himself, Mr. Lucas Ham. He wants to know what is one of the most underrated PlayStation games of all time and one of the most overrated PlayStation games of all time. And he wants us all to answer. So let's start with you, Delvin. Most overrated PlayStation game of all time, in your opinion?
It has to be a PlayStation game, right?
That's what he's asking. Yeah,
It's exclusive. He's asking.
I don't know.
it's a tough one, right?
Yeah, because I don't think of most PlayStation games as overrated. I can tell you the game I think of is overrated, but it's not a PlayStation game. Like, see, I'm gonna stick to the question. Overrated PlayStation game. You go first, Hayley.
I mean, I'll be honest. I'm gonna answer. I'm just gonna throw a title out, but I'm not sticking by it, and I also don't believe it. I'm just gonna say God of War because guess what? Guess what? None of Sony's games are overrated. They're not. They deserve the ratings they get. So I'm throwing God of War under the bus here, but I'm not. This is not a convicted answer. This is just he wants an answer to the question. He got an answer to the question.
See,
God of War is great, and I also don't think it's overrated, but it's the one I'm throwing out there because none of them are overrated.
See, when I think about
have
overrated, I think about it in like the court of public opinion. I don't even think about the actual what people have rated it. So I'm going with like Parappa the Rapper. For some reason, people love that game, and I think it is the most overrated piece of garbage ever. That's just me.
I don't think I'm gonna say one that's controversial.
Mm-hmm.
It's a PlayStation exclusive game, quote unquote, because it was exclusive when it first came out. The PlayStation, if I'm correct.
Mm-hmm.
GTA 3.
It was not. I don't think so.
I thought GTA 3 was on PlayStation first only.
I feel like it was only. What else was it on?
Didn't it?
It came to other stuff later, but I think it started
on GameCube too.
No, it definitely didn't come to GameCube. GTA 3.
I don't think that game was overrated at all. That game to me is still my favorite GTA game. GTA 3 was flipping amazing.
Wow, you're off base. But again, I know I'm like the lone exception here that loves GTA 4. Like,
I think 4 is good, but I think for me 3 without 3, the other ones don't exist. And there's just something special about 3 and creating that formula for me that is just absolutely amazing. And it also has to do with just the time period that I was playing it in. So that's still like my favorite GTA game.
I still remember that game got delayed by a week because of the Twin Towers.
Yeah, I remember that.
Like that's the like smallest amount I've ever heard of a game being delayed. Just 1 week, guys.
Yeah, I think it only did come to PS2 originally. Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, I like it, but the way people talk about GTA 3 to me is like, I don't like it as much as people talk about it. Like it was great for its time. I don't think it holds up. I like San Andreas and Vice City far better.
Oh, I can't. San Andreas. Oof.
I love San Andreas.
San Andreas is awesome.
I love
the story was I hated the workout system. It was annoying.
I love that too. I love those RPG mechanics of it, doing those type of things. Yeah. Which you wouldn't think I would like.
Right.
But I like that aspect of that game. Like, hey, you got to stay in shape. You got to do these things. You got to go hang out. You got to. I like that. And I feel like they kind of still do that today in games.
I mean, they do that in Grand Theft Auto still, but it's not tedious. You're not constantly having to stop doing the story to go eat and then work out and then hang out with your friends. now all of your stats build up over time via use. Your shooting improves the more you shoot. Your driving improves the more you drive. Your stamina improves the more you run, etc. You're not just having to take time out of your day to go eat a burger and then lift weights for 25 minutes.
That was the jam. I loved it.
It
I
was
love it
not
too.
the jam. It was super duper annoying.
Now,
I prefer that.
My underrated game, Until Dawn. Fantastic. I don't think it gets the praise it deserves. It's one of the greatest horror games I've ever played in my life. Fantastic. The way that story builds up to the end is just amazing. And especially the way where it feels like that game out Quantic Dream, and it sucks that the actual quote unquote sequel, not Until Dawn 2, but the predecessor to that game isn't as good. Because Until Dawn just felt like it hit everything right.
What do you mean predecessor to Until Dawn? Do you mean they're sequels? Like they're sequels like Man of Medan and whatnot?
Yeah, Man of Medan's not necessarily a quote unquote sequel.
No, it's a legacy type
follow-up.
thing.
Yeah, follow up. But and it does it while I like Man of Medan, I know a lot of people don't like it. I think it's okay. It doesn't have that same feeling that Until Dawn has. Until Dawn feels like the perfect horror story, especially when you add the fact that the way you play it, either everybody can live
or everybody can die.
And when they die, it feels like it matters.
Yeah.
Also, fun fact about Until Dawn, like literally only 3 characters can die through like random chance. The rest are like scripted to a certain point, have to stay alive. Like it's crazy the amount of chance that happens in like the last 3 chapters of that game.
I agree. There's one thing where if you make one decision, the person immediately dies in like the last chapter.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Oh, and but by the way, if that character dies, I'm not spoiling anything here because you'd need to know and have played the game to do it, and I'm not going to spoil Until Dawn. Like it's a fantastic game. If that character dies, they deserved it. So just a heads up, because I know exactly who you're talking about.
Fantastic game.
Yeah.
I haven't played it.
If you like horror games, you definitely should play it.
I'm not big into horror. That was one that I want to do for Halloween, like with my kids, and have everybody make like choices, like make the decisions together. Like I want to do a party game like that. I just never got around to it.
I actually haven't finished it yet, but that's because I only play it on Halloween. Like literally, that's the only time I play it. So, is on Halloween. Like I still have it installed on my console. I will literally boot it up on Halloween, even though Watch Dogs will have been out for 2 days at that point, and I will just go to town on it. Like that's literally all I play on Halloween. Like just that. That's the only game I play for that day.
Nice. Underrated, man. This is a tough one.
I actually haven't picked one either yet, but if you have one on hand, because I have one, so
go for it. I'm trying to think.
I would say Days Gone. So
yeah, I can see that. That's a good choice. That's definitely a good choice. For me, I'm probably gonna go back in the like PS1 era, just because I feel like everything that's out nowadays, like most of the stuff that the way they're rated, I don't think anything is overrated or underrated, to be perfectly honest. But like on PS1, I think there's a Final Fantasy Tactics was a game for me that I don't think gets enough love. I think it's got some underground love, but for me, that game was fantastic and I absolutely loved it, and I don't think it gets the recognition that it deserves, and I really wish that I could get the original back, like a remake, but that's all I can think of. I can't think of anything else at this point.
That was an excellent game that I have fond memories of playing. I wasn't never really good at the tactics games and stuff like that. That's why I kind of stuck to the mainline Final Fantasy games.
Yeah.
But that was what I liked a lot. Like, it's really good. Super cool. Art style was awesome. People don't talk about that game enough.
Yep. Agreed.
For those watching YouTube, yes, hi, I am wearing the Kind of Funny Pride shirt. My phone bounced off my bed on its own, so that's why I got up.
That was the ghost from Until Dawn.
Sure, let's go with that.
All right, moving along. Next question from that retro code. He asks, "Will PS5 have region-free accessibility, and will it be worth it since not many people have taken advantage of it on PS4? It seems like Switch has been the only system where gamers actually use it."
I mean, I know Delvin has a story for it, but I've used the region-free accessibility for movies as opposed to games. I have a couple of Supernatural DVDs that are from the UK, so I used those in my PS4, and it's fantastic. Um, do I think the PS5 will have it? Yeah, probably, because it's a lot easier to make things region-free now. Like,
Yeah.
it used to be a big problem to do that, and that's why the PS3 wasn't. But I think going forward, you're going to find a lot of things are region free now because most Blu-ray players are region free now as well.
Yeah, I agree. I think the PS5 will be region free. Will I ever use it to import anything? Absolutely not, because mine won't even have a disk drive, but I don't think it'll be region locked at all.
I use my region free all the time with PS4. I have a lot of games that I just bought from Japan and stuff like that, order off of Amazon just to try. Like I even bought Judgment from Japan when I first got it. Like, wait, because usually games like that come out 6 months to a year before they come here.
Mm-hmm.
In some cases they don't come here. So a lot of times I would just get the game early, and a lot of times it's cheaper. It's like $20-$30. I get it and I play it. If I have nothing to play, have a blast. I use it all the time. I suspect PS5 will have the same thing.
Yeah.
And I will continue to do the same thing. I love playing games that you import. It's one of the kind of joys I used to love doing when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I think I told this story before. I had a modded PS2.
Yeah, you did tell this story before.
And I got it specifically to play the Japanese version of Transformers the game because it had the G1 characters. It was based off the G1 series, and it had all the old Transformers characters like G1 Optimus Prime, Rodimus Prime, Ultra Magnus. Those were the ones I wanted to play with, and it was in English.
Yeah, let's be real, Delvin. You weren't a kid when PS2 came out. Stop it. When you said when I was a kid, I was expecting like SNES because we actually imported a couple of Dragon Ball games for Super Nintendo.
Oh, yeah, I was probably 16 when PS2 came out.
That's not a child.
No, when PS2 came out, you were not 16. PS2 came out in like 99 or 2000.
It came out that late?
Yeah, I was in my second year of college when it came out.
Yeah, I was old.
All right, let's solve this debate right now.
If that's the case, then I was a very old man then.
Yeah, I was in sophomore year of college, so it had to be 2000.
March 4th, 2000.
Yeah, I was 20, so I wasn't a kid.
Yeah.
That's probably how I afforded a modded PS2.
Wow.
Yep. All right, next question.
Job.
From the Eels, he says, what's the best game of all time, and why is it The Witcher 3?
Good choice. Witcher 3 is fantastic, but I love The Witcher 3. I wouldn't say it's the best game of all time. What's the best game of all time to me? I'm gonna go with Mass Effect 2.
I can't believe this. One, to answer his question, The Witcher 3 is the best game of all time because of all the nudity. And the actual answer, I can't believe this. I agree with Hayley. Mass Effect 2.
Wow. That's okay.
A first.
Yeah. I mean, I don't agree, but that's just me. That's not my favorite game of all time. Favorite game of all time. That's a tough one.
No. This isn't favorite game.
No, for me, I'm not doing best because I don't know what the best game. I can only speak for myself, and I can go with my favorite because.
Oh well,
I mean, if you want to go best, then I'm gonna go with like Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past or Super Metroid. Like those are the greatest games of all time.
And you would be wrong, but also if we're doing favorite game of all time, I haven't even mentioned mine. So
I haven't played Mass Effect 2. Those games are too goddamn long for me. Like when it came out, I was like, I can't do this. I tried to play Mass Effect 2. It was just too long. I couldn't do it.
According to Jeff Grubb, you may have a chance to play them this October.
It won't matter. It's too long. I won't do that. Like
they're not that long. Like
mining planets for resources and stuff. No.
Mass Effect 2 is like 60 hours if you want the good ending. There is no way to get the good ending
Beat it in like
and
30
not play
hours.
that game for 60 hours.
You can play it for like 30 hours and beat it.
But you won't get the good ending.
If you're
All
good
your
like
Who says you need the good
all-
ending though? Let them all die.
I mean, to be fair, the point of the trilogy is that you can continue your story along. If you don't get the good ending in Mass Effect 2, all of your crew dies. So you can't bring any of the surviving crewmates that join you in Mass Effect 3 along with you if you carry your character over. So
What's the problem with that?
I'm trying to get
I'm a
Dev
one
just to
man
play
wrecking.
it.
I'm just a one man wrecking force. So I don't need anybody else.
you will
I
not
mean,
survive.
I
in the
played
environment
Mass
in
Effect
Mass
2,
Effect.
and it was cool for a time, but it just got too low in the tooth for me. Like it was just too much. Like I cannot play RPGs like that anymore. I cannot play games that have that much to them. It's just too long. I can't do it.
So I have to ask how you're gonna play Cyberpunk this fall.
I don't know that.
Is it-
I don't know that that's going to be a game that I stick with. I haven't pre-ordered it. I don't know that I'm going to be able to play a game that's going to be that long.
I will say, by the way, it does look like we are not getting any more delays on Cyberpunk because we passed the famed day 91. As of recording, it is day 88 till launch. And for anyone wondering why 91 became such a big deal, it's because both times the game got delayed, it got delayed 91 days to release. Generally because you need 90 days for marketing and printing and production on like copies. So I don't think that we are gonna get another delay. They could like last hour do it, but that would cost them a lot of money, and not just like shareholder interest money, like a lot of money.
I'm sure they'll be just fine. All right, next question. We got 2 more to go. Professor Pug over on Discord, he says, has the Gotham Knights reveal trailer surpassed Marvel Avengers for being one of the best or most hyped up superhero video games since the Arkham series?
I mean, no, because if you look at all the responses to the trailer, everyone's mad that Batman's dead. So,
see, I didn't see any of that. I saw nothing but excitement. I didn't see anybody. I saw people tweeting that people were upset about Batman being dead, but I saw more people excited to play as the other characters than I saw people upset about Batman being dead.
I mean, we'll talk about this later because, like, I have a huge question relating to it as like my topic for the week. But I don't know. I wouldn't compare Avengers and this at all because Avengers is a live service, always online game. Even when you're playing offline, you need internet to play that game.
But it's not about comparison, though. He's just asking, do we think it is just people are more excited for this than they are Avengers? And I'd probably say yes.
Okay.
I feel like after the beta, a lot of people are kind of like, I don't know about this Avengers game. I think it's very divisive. Yeah, I think it's split down the middle.
But I will say, just keep in mind, it's been confirmed Gotham Knights is not part of the Arkham universe continuity. But in a weird twist, the Suicide Squad game is, and that is a complete tone shift from the Arkham series. And also, like, I got no problem with character designs, but if it's in the same universe as Arkham, wow, you guys have just massively retconned Arkham City. Wow.
I have,
but I will say they've retconned it for the better if they have, because I will say Deadshot was in Arkham City, and wow, his design in that game was awful, but his design in this new game looks fantastic. Anybody who's played Arkham City will know why they've retconned Deadshot.
Deadshot got a tan.
Deadshot got more than a tan. Deadshot got a whole new face.
Yeah, Deadshot got a tan, to say the least. But if we're going based off of the trailer, I would say yes, because I remember people didn't receive that Avengers trailer too well.
Not at all.
That Avengers trailer was awful. It looked, all the comments on it were like, this doesn't look like the Avengers. This looks like knockoff toy soldiers.
Yep.
Yes. So if we're going based off trailer to trailer, emphatically yes, because people hated that Avengers trailer.
Yep. I definitely, like I said, I think people are just more hyped for this than they are Avengers, especially after the beta. It's just the Avengers, I feel like is split down the middle. Either you really like it or you really hate it. Where it seems like people are excited, even if Batman is dead, they're excited to get back to like Gotham. So
Oh, also, by the way, spoiler alert: Batman's not dead. Like that is the biggest fake out I have ever seen.
I will say this, and this goes to both games, the Suicide Squad one and the Arkham Knights game, which is weird because the Arkham Knights game supposedly isn't part of the universe, but it's a part of the universe because it continued the story of Batman being dead, which is
It doesn't actually, because Tim Drake is younger and Barbara has healed from her wheelchair, which in Night she was still in her wheelchair and couldn't like get out of it.
But he sends a message to say that if you see this, I mean I died and all this. All right. It's hard to make. This is mainly talking about the Suicide Squad game. It's hard to make a game called the Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League and not have one of the main members of the Justice League in the game.
I mean, are you talking about the fact that they've said Batman won't be in it?
He's gonna be in that game.
He will not. He will not be in that game at all. I actually trust Rocksteady on that involvement because they've worked on Batman games for so long. If they don't want Batman in the game, he's not going to be in it.
I think so. How you make a Justice League game without Batman? I don't think it's.
I mean, as far as the universe knows in Arkham, I mean, the audience knows, but as far as the rest of the world in the Arkham universe knows, Bruce Wayne is Batman and Batman is dead.
I
wonder how far after Arkham Knight this one is supposed to be set.
I mean, also, when that trailer started, I thought we were in the Injustice universe because they had the freaking Brainiac ship down there.
Yeah.
Also, not even like, yes, it did look good, but I will say, not even hyperfixation, like attacking thing, like, because everybody knows I have mental health issues with this game, like attacking one's own hyperfixations is not great. So, kind of nervous about this game, even though, sure, I'll play as Harley Quinn. Will I probably hurt myself mentally playing it? Yeah. But I'm so tired of Superman's reputation being like drug through the mud while Batman remains perfectly intact. Stop trying to make dark Superman. It doesn't work. It's annoying. Literally give us I don't even care about giving us a good Superman like game. Give us good Superman. That's why people love Superman. Stop this. Like, I know he's mind controlled in this because that's literally why his heat vision is purple in the trailer. But also, like, I'm so tired of it. Injustice is Elseworlds. Like, it's literally stated, like, right as Injustice starts. This is an alternate universe. This is just like, no, we're just gonna go Bat Superman. And you know what's contributing to this problem? It's literally everyone doing, like, The Boys. Which, by the way, that ad for that show is really annoying. Am I going to watch it though? Because Jensen Ackles will be in season 3. Yes, begrudgingly. Sorry, hi, I've talked for way too long. Please interject if I go any further. But it's super annoying to see Batman's reputation remain crystal clear. Like, oh yeah, he's our top character, yada yada yada. He never does any wrong, and then they just throw Superman right under the bus and go, oh yeah, he's evil now because that's cool. Give us a evil Batman game. I'd love to see that, which, spoiler alert, this is why I'm saying Batman isn't dead in Gotham Knights, because it's pretty obvious that at the end of the trailer there where you see the person walking towards the cage, it's pretty obvious that Bruce has been kidnapped by the Court of Owls, because while I trust WB Montreal to do a good story because Arkham Origins was fantastic, you don't do the Court of Owls without Bruce. Like, you physically cannot do it. Like, Bruce's disdain at the fact that the court exists in that story is integral to it. So what I think is actually happening in Gotham Knights, and I will eat a hat if I'm wrong. Just a heads up.
No, Hayley, we're not eat a hat. No, we're not doing that.
What I think is actually happening is that while Nightwing, Batgirl, Red Hood, and Robin go after like protecting Gotham, Bruce is undercover or kidnapped or whatever with the Court of Owls, trying to destroy them from the inside. And you will find that out later in the game. There's actually a fan theory that he's been brainwashed to work as Talon, which is an assassin for the Court of Owls. Hi, I know way too much about this, and I'm very excited for a game that has no release date beyond 2021.
Yeah, that did suck when I saw the release date. Same for Suicide Squad. I was like, ooh, 2022. You could have just not said anything. You could have just left it alone. It'd been okay.
Suicide Squad makes me angry. Actually, while we're here, before we move on to the next question, did you just want me to bring my question for the story in? Because like we know what my story is. It's
We
Gotham
can
Knights,
get there. We can get there. We'll save it for that whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Delvin, you look like you're froze up there.
He did.
Say that.
Yeah, you are cutting in and
I
out,
can hear you guys
buddy.
good.
We can't hear you. You're cutting in
You
and
guys
out.
can hear me now?
There you go.
I can hear y'all clearly.
Yeah, you good.
Okay. What I was gonna say was, I agree with the in terms of Superman. When I first heard the whole Justice League Suicide Squad kills the Justice League thing, I honestly thought maybe it's the Justice Society, like they're doing the whole family evil thing. But then when you see the evil Superman, like, oh come on, how many times can we show Superman? Superman's a bad guy? Like, come on.
See, when I look at it, I don't see it as Superman being a bad guy. He's mind controlled. Like, that's not really bad Superman. That's just Brainiac's control over him. Like, it's clearly obvious. Like,
it's a terrible trope that they always go to.
It is. It's bad. They go to it way too much. And I will say, I love the Arrowverse. The Arrowverse does it too.
Yeah, it's more fun to fight him than it is to beat him because he's overpowered.
It is not. It is not. I get it. You don't like DC Comics.
It's not so much that I don't like DC Comics. It's just that even with, like, for example, him and Hulk to me, as characters, like, they're so overpowered. Like, unless you, like, it's just too hard to make them in video game form to be fun. Because otherwise, you should not get touched. You should just be able to just beat everything without it being an issue.
I mean, to be fair, there's a literal story explanation for why people can touch Superman. It's because he literally holds back so not to kill people.
I get that, but if I'm playing as him, do I want to hold back? No, I shouldn't be touched. Just backslap everybody real quick. Just flick them away. Just flick people away because I'm that powerful. Like, when you do that as a super character, as a character, like, he's just so overpowered that I feel like it makes way more sense to fight him than to be him, because
it does not. And also, I'm not even talking about games. It's just super annoying in every medium. They're even doing it in the comics now, too. Yeah. Evil Superman. It's so annoying. Give us a good Superman.
Yeah.
We'll never get a good Superman.
I think the Superman animated series handled Superman the best way in terms of his powers. He didn't feel super overpowered. He didn't feel underpowered.
If you want to go even further, I think Smallville actually handled his powers better because he had to learn to control them throughout the entire show.
Yeah, Smallville did a good job of it too. Yeah. I will say that. But I think that Superman, I almost want to say that saying that we can't make Superman in the game because he's too powerful, it's kind of a cop-out. You can make him in a game. You can make him in a game be well-powered enough. You just haven't figured it out yet. You just haven't worked the way to make it work. And I think that developers and people who write Superman, the best Superman stories are the ones where people get the basic elements of Superman. The fact that Superman is someone who came in this country, and came in this planet. Yeah, this country to the United States. Grew up in a small town, fell in love with the United States, and fell in love with America, and fell in love with this planet, and does everything he can to protect this planet, even if it means sacrificing himself. And no matter what, he's more human than he is Kryptonian.
That is literally the turning point for Tower of Babel, by the way. Another one of the fantastic Batman / Justice League stories. That's the story where Batman has a weakness for every Justice League member in the cave at the mansion, aside from Wonder Woman, where it's later determined that Batman literally couldn't figure out a weakness for Wonder Woman. But he later at the end of that turns around and goes, Clark is more human than all of us.
Yes.
And he's an alien from another planet. Like
Superman's greatest weakness is humanity.
Exactly. And also, again, Max Landis is a terrible person, but if you want a really good Superman story, please read American Alien. It's fantastic.
Yes, I agree. Bootleg it.
But yeah, please don't pay for it because Max Landis is a terrible garbage human being. Literally, please pirate that story. Do not pay for it. He is awful.
As we speak of humanity,
Yeah.
Lord
Max
have
Landis
mercy.
is the opposite of Superman.
Yeah.
All right, let's move along and get back on track. Ooh, we
Hi,
have
we became
become the
Superman
DC
cast for-
the DC podcast, as we often do. It's Batman and Superman around here all the time, much to my chagrin.
And I'm a Marvel fan.
Hi. You knew what you were signing up for when you.
Oh
Hi.
boy. So
Hi.
we're just gonna move on
Kryptonian on my
to
arm.
the
What did you
stories.
expect?
So your first story, Hayley, Gotham Knights cross gen.
Yeah. So Gotham Knights is cross-gen, but Suicide Squad isn't. What the hell happened there?
I think it's just the
Honestly,
timing.
Is it though? Because I think Gotham Knights would benefit from being just a next-gen game.
I agree.
I mean, the game looks fantastic. Even that vertical slice, looked great. But the fact that it is a it's a cross-gen game, but Suicide Squad isn't. And by the way, Rocksteady's been working on this game since 2016, and they didn't even show us gameplay. Literally just that cinematic trailer, and then 2022. All right, this is just I don't understand.
I mean,
get
it's
it.
coming out in 2022, so I'm not surprised that we didn't see any gameplay. Even if they've been working on it since 2016, who knows how many iterations it's gone through, how many changes, and it might not be in a playable state for them to actually show anything that is indicative of what the game will be at this point. Which is probably why it's coming out in 2022. But Gotham Knights being cross-gen, I think it's just a matter of there's such a huge install base, and they've probably been working on the game long enough to where it can come out on current gen and then also have some of the next gen upgrades. We also don't know when it's coming out in 2021. It could be, spring. It could be not too far off from now.
Actually, I kind of hope this is a spring game. I would love if this came out in March or May. Realistically though, very excited that Batgirl is getting some love. I really hope, because they've mentioned there's customization, I really hope we can wear the Burnside Batgirl costume. Which for those who don't know, Burnside Batgirl is a fantastic run. And her costume got redesigned specifically for that run. So it was like a leather jacket, armor plated leather jacket, and it looked fantastic. It's one of my greatest shames that jacket was like $600 at Fan Expo the year I went, so I couldn't buy it.
What do you think, Elvin? About it being cross-gen?
It doesn't matter to me. I think it's cool. I think they're just doing it because I think they realize that people are still going to be on their old consoles at that point. A lot of people are still going to be on PS4 and Xbox Ones, and they want to get those sales in. And I want to say 2022 sounds about right when you start seeing people drop off their systems and start to pick up the Series X and the PS5. So that kind of makes sense to me too. I'm hoping that this game is gonna look completely next gen on the next gen version. It doesn't look like this looks like just the up-res version of it. Per se.
The one thing I will say from this trailer and gameplay that releases, functional armor on women. Yes. Even the Suicide Squad trailer was great. No boob plate. For anyone who doesn't know why that's an issue, if you disshape armor or metal or anything like that in a concave way to show that it's a woman in armor, which by the way, I don't understand why that's a thing. It's a woman in armor. You don't need to show her boobs in the armor, but also it actually makes the armor ineffective and things can pierce through that section of the armor. No problem once you do that. But the Batgirl costume in the Gotham Knights trailer is functional. It armor on a woman. It looks great. And again, as the lone woman here, functional armor on women is great. Please keep doing it.
Yeah, I've always thought it was dumb the way they portray women in fighting games or any kind of combat game. It's stupid that they're out there in a bikini. Nobody's going to battle in a bikini. I've always thought that was dumb. And it just lets you know that it's men who are writing it.
Yeah, but also the reason I bring this, the reason I
but they don't need armor.
the reason I bring this up is because if you remember when Captain Phasma got announced for Star Wars, everyone was upset. It's like, you can't even tell that's woman. And the Star Wars Twitter account had to go, it's armor on a woman. It's armor. Like,
you don't know if the
right.
stormtroopers are male or female. They're in armor. You can't see them. So what difference does it make if it's a woman in the armor? It's armor. Yeah, I 100% agree with that.
Don't get me started on Phasma. What a wasted character.
It was definitely a wasted character.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Again, I've still only seen like the 3 originals, so
That's all you need to see. That's all you need to see.
I've had no time to go back and like watch The Mandalorian or anything like that yet. So
watch Mandalorian is fantastic.
Yeah, watch Mandalorian, watch Solo, watch Rogue One, and watch the originals. You can forget about the prequels.
I've seen Solo. Like I saw that at the movie theater, like the year it came, like 2 days after it came out, because it was the only movie that seemed interesting at the time. But like it's just I haven't had time because so many games and shows and stuff that I like have come out, so I haven't had time to go back and like delve into more Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, totally understandable. So much stuff on our plates, so much going on. But yeah, cross-gen Gotham Knights. I mean, I'll be playing it on PS5. I won't be playing it on PS4, so whatever.
Yeah, I'll be playing it on PS5 as well because again, day one. So
yeah. All right, so we got a surprise that I don't think anybody saw coming. Ghost of Tsushima has a whole multiplayer mode coming. Did not see that coming at all. I would have never in a million years expected this game to have any kind of multiplayer mode. And it actually looks pretty cool. Like co-op Ghosts, I'm with it. Doing a raid in the Ghost of Tsushima world, fighting off demons and stuff. Sign me up. Like I was pleasantly surprised by this. It was not something I would have ever imagined coming to this universe or to this world, but I think that it'll be pretty cool to be able to just jump back in and give me some more of my ghost fix that I need and be able to roll up my boys and murder some things. So pretty excited about it. Pretty cool. Would you guys have ever imagined this coming or being a thing?
No.
Yeah.
At all. Not gonna play it, but it looks cool.
Delvin, it's gonna be free. We're gonna go in and we're gonna go slice some people up, sir.
I mean, I will attest. I'm also not gonna play it because
I knew you weren't gonna play it. Oh man, come on! 2 to 4 players. I get to be an assassin, a samurai hunter, and it's a rank. Let's go! This is right up my alley. Me and a couple of my other boys who are playing Ghost right now, we're like, oh, we can't wait for this because this will be our co-op thing.
I'll probably be playing Avengers at that time.
I don't think they announced a release date, so
I'll probably
it just says fall, so it can release anytime from now until middle of November. Because again, the only exception I've ever seen to this rule have been I've only seen 2 exceptions to this rule. Literally Far Cry 3 and Just Cause 3. Coincidentally, are the only games I've seen released the first week of December because nothing releases in December.
Yeah,
that is true.
Yep. But I'm excited for this, even though you guys aren't. I'm happy. I love Ghosts. It's a wonderful game. I hope we get a sequel. All right. So, Delvin, what you got for us?
I got an interesting story. Sony executive Eric Lampel is making the bold claim that the PS5 will boast the best lineup we've ever seen in the history of PlayStation.
I'll be honest, I don't think that's hard to do.
All right. I'm glad you said that. Because I didn't look them all up. But I just went to go based off of the launch lineup for PS4.
Mm-hmm.
Now, hold on here. Hold on. I just want to throw a wrench in your work. The article doesn't say launch lineup. It just says lineup, as in the best lineup of it. He's probably talking about exclusives that are come all throughout the gen. But continue. I just want to throw that wrench in your spanner.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, the PS4 released in November 15th in US and Canada, and November 29th in the UK. That sounds right. Their launch lineup was Angry Birds Star Wars, Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, Battlefield 4, Blacklight Retribution, Call of Duty Ghosts, Contrast, DC Universe Online, Dive Kick, FIFA 14, Flower, Injustice, Gods Among Us, Just Dance, Killfall, Shadowfall, Knack, Marvel Superheroes, Madden 25, NBA 2K14, NBA Live 214, Need for Speed Rivals, Playroom, Resogun, Skylander Squad Force, Shell Shapes, Super Motherload, Trine 2, and Warframe.
Yeah. Like
Not a
three of
bad lineup.
those. Three of those were actually PS4 games. The rest of them were PS3 games.
If you're counting Black Flag, the better version was the PS4 version.
Yeah,
But yes.
I mean they were all better versions on PS4, but when you think about like
Yeah.
the actual PS4 games, you have like Resogun, Killzone, and probably like the little Astrobot stuff, but everything else, and maybe Warframe. I think Warframe was only available on PS4, Xbox One, and PC. But when you look at that launch lineup, like it's basically a bunch of third-party games you can get everywhere and a couple of exclusives.
So do you think him saying this is saying that we're gonna have some exclusives in there that we don't know about? Because we really haven't
Possibly.
seen Jack.
That's why I said
Possibly.
I don't think it's going to be that hard to outdo, because if you look back at PS3's launch lineup, it's like Fantavision. Or maybe that was PS2. PS2 was like Fantavision or something. PS3,
Yeah,
PS1,
Fantavision.
none of them have had like these amazing launch lineups. It hasn't been like these amazing first party games. It's been mostly third party stuff, because that's when all the big third party games release is in the fall. And then you have an exclusive here or there. So it's possible that this may be the best launch lineup if we get Miles Morales. I mean, that to me, Miles Morales is probably head and shoulders better than any launch game, any first party launch game we've got on any of the PlayStation consoles. And if they throw in a couple of surprises if they haven't announced yet, it's possible that it is the best launch lineup. But going back to what Hayley says, he just says best lineup we've never seen, which I think is very possible with all of the new franchises they've created on PS4. As
And
well
the
as
new
the
ones
new
they
stuff,
own.
the new ones that they own.
Because again, Sony came out this week and again clarified, hey, we own Sunset Overdrive. So just a heads up.
I don't think that's a great game, but okay.
I mean, I'm not holding out hope, but if Sony's gonna come out and publicly go, hey, we own this, they could be gearing up to like talk to Microsoft and get it like over on PS4, like the first one, because Microsoft has publishing rights. But
yeah,
you know,
with the whole lineup thing, I think that it's very possible with just all the sequels to all the new franchises they've created on PS4, bringing back stuff from like the PS3, PS2 era that we haven't seen in forever, as well as whatever they have new in the pipeline. I think it's very possible that this is the best lineup we've ever seen on a PlayStation console.
Like Returnal looks awesome. That game looks fantastic. Whatever that Capcom like space thing was,
Alita or something.
The dude, or whatever, where the dude, the invisible cat, and like,
oh yeah, that thing,
yeah.
I mean,
whatever
it's
that
possible.
is. That Stray game where you are the cat, that game looks cool. You know, it just, but like again, then we've got like Miles Morales. We've got the inevitable Spider-Man 2, which will probably feature both Peter and Miles as playable characters. Like the first one did.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
And then like, you know, God of War 2, maybe an Infamous return down the line, Ghost of Tsushima 2, that's probably a given. Not even like, yeah, we will probably see Last of Us 3. You know, there's lots to come. Like he literally doesn't say launch lineup, he just says lineup. So there's lots to come. But even if we're talking launch lineup, like Miles Morales, that's a big get. And then based on those rumors that maybe the Demon Souls is launch window or even launch lineup like title, that's huge right there. Plus you've got I'm assuming these next gen versions of like Valhalla and Watch Dogs and Cyberpunk are all launching day and date, because why wouldn't they? So then you've got those, plus you've got whatever indie games want to come out on the day of launch, because they're always going to throw their hat in the game. It's crazy already, and there's still stuff we don't even know about. So, because remember, opening night live is in 4 days for Gamescom, so there's plenty to be announced that night.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm out of breath because I've been talking way too much because I'm actually like energized.
What do you think about it? What do you think about it? You think it's possible to have the best launch lineup or best just lineup period, Delvin? Or
if we're going lineup, it's gonna be hard. PS4's lineup is amazing. If you like look at the games PS4 came out with this generation, God of War, Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah, and if you think about all those games getting sequels, so you get to keep that same amazing lineup you had plus whatever new they add. That's just my thinking on it. Unless, the sequels
if you added
suck.
that caveat, yeah, I was gonna say that. It's a possibility these sequels to suck. But I even forgot to mention Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah,
It's another, technically speaking, exclusive game for now.
You gotta wonder if the next one, if part 2 will come to PS5 or it will just be backwards compatibility or something.
Yeah.
It's such a weird way to do that game at the end of a generation. Like, it's just so odd to me.
And it's even more weird that they don't know what the hell they're doing. Like, we may come out with another game sooner, but we have a lot to do. We don't know what we're gonna do, what direction we're gonna take it into.
Even if the next part never comes out, I still love that game for what it was.
I do too. I love it, and I love the fact they gave us the Sephiroth battle.
Yeah, absolutely. You're muted, Hayley.
I wanted to say something that would spoil that, but again, this is now a new game for new generations, so I won't spoil it because I know how the original ends. I'm very glad they made a change. So
you're muted now, Delvin. Y'all are killing me.
I'm gonna type it in the chat for you two. You two will know what I'm talking about.
I'm muted.
You were, because you were talking and nothing was happening.
There you go. The two of you now know what I'm talking about. It's in the chat. There you go.
Let me see if I can see this. Oh, you want me to read this out loud, everybody?
No, I don't.
I mean, if you've played Final Fantasy VII Remake, then you understand exactly what that is. Like, Then we have a spoiler cast. If you want to hear about what Hayley's talking about, go listen to our spoiler cast if you have not played Final Fantasy VII to completion, but you want to find out what it is. It's the remake. That's all I'm gonna say. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
Just play the spoiler cast. You don't even have to listen to it. Just keep playing it over and over to get it more listens.
Yeah. Why not? Just
run it over and over.
Let it run.
That's fair. Do that.
Let it run. Okay. So we don't know a whole lot about PS5 and what it's got, but
we know nothing.
I mean, it feels like we know nothing. And so, of course, the rumor mill is just ripe with all kinds of stuff.
By the way, shout out to this dude's Twitter name, because, man, did he win.
Yeah, so we got a huge leak from some dude who claims to be an insider, Mr. Iron Man PS5, where he leaked all kind of goodies. And, I mean, again, this is rumor, so it's, gotta take it with probably like a whole heap full of salt. We don't know.
Whole bottle of salt.
Yeah, just the whole can of salt, But he's saying that the PS5 will be $499 for the disc version, $399 for the digital version. That it'll be released November 20th in America, and then a week before that over in Japan to coincide with the 25th anniversary of the original PlayStation. That the DualSense, will be $70. Which I'm not too surprised because like the DualShock 4 honestly is like $65 if you get it in a color right now. So that's not a huge jump. The DualSense charging station will be $30, also come out on the 20th. The HD camera will be $70 and come out on the 20th. The Pulse 3D headset, which will be $160, and that'll come out on the 20th. The Media Remote will be $30, come out on the 20th. There'll be a vertical stand that'll be $20. That they're going to have a PSVR that's going to be wireless. That'll come out in the fall of 2021. Just all kind of stuff that, again, grain of salt. But them releasing it on that date and have everything coincide with the 25th anniversary of the PlayStation 1 doesn't seem too far-fetched. The price point seems like what everybody is leaning into, and I'm hoping that is the case. And we just got all this information, and again, Sony being so silent, like it's hard to know if any of this is real. And we have a question about that from Eat the Hype. He says, so what do you guys think about all these rumors? Do you think they're legit? Common sense guessing? Do you think for all of the marketing on the DualSense controller that it would retail for $70? And will PS5 get an elite version of the DualSense. A lot to take in.
That's a
I'll
lot.
answer
But
I'll answer that last one first. I don't think they're gonna get an elite version of that DualSense.
Me either.
I think that's the controller.
Yep. I agree.
Now you go ahead, Hayley.
I was just gonna say, there's one thing in this rumor that I take issue with, and that's that they hadn't put pre-orders out because the FCC hasn't made a ruling. The FCC only pertains to the United States of America. It does not pertain to anywhere else.
Yeah, but this is like the biggest place, so it would make sense to not take you don't want to just take pre-orders in one place and not the other. Like you typically want to go global.
Why not? I'm sure you want to go global, but you could still tell people the price and go, "Hey, we're waiting on this. Here's an estimation," because the FCC is literally only an American issue. Like, it doesn't affect the EU or Japan or Canada or South Korea. Like, it doesn't affect any of that. Like, that, there's probably speculation, I will be honest. The rest of it, I mean, it seemed tangible. Because the 20th is, I mean, you were either going to launch on the 13th or the 20th or the 6th. Like, those are the 3 days you were going to launch in November. And there's the rumor that the Series X is launching on the 6th, which, by the way, if they do that, that's crazy. Good luck to Microsoft launching an election week. I know I've said that last week, but I'm saying it again because you're crazy to launch a console on election week.
I disagree with that. I think it's fine to launch on election week. I think people will need the distraction and be very happy for it, to be perfectly honest. Because again, election week, you got to vote once. It's not like it's a whole week worth of voting. So you can go vote and then go get your console. So I don't think that's a problem.
Yeah, speaking of, while we're here, please vote.
And with the FCC thing, I think it makes sense only because if you've noticed what they've done with their marketing is they've shifted it to all be one marketing brand. Instead of everywhere having its own, like saying their own slogans and stuff, they've kind of pulled everything under one thing. And that's play has no limits. Where for PS4, like in the UK, it was this is for the players. Well, out here it was long live play. Like they've shifted it to where it's one brand, one marketing, one thing across all of PlayStation. So it would make sense if they're waiting on the FCC to approve it here to just wait to do everything all at once instead of having different marketing campaigns have to go out to each region to just wait and do it once. So I feel like that also makes sense if that is the truth. Wouldn't surprise me. And honestly, like I don't think they're stressed or pushed for having to give a release date or start pre-orders or to give us anything right now. I think that they are totally fine to wait. I don't think it's anything. I think we feel the pressure. I don't think they feel the pressure. Perfectly honest. Like we know it's coming. They know it's coming, and they know as soon as they open pre-orders, people will go pre-order it.
It's getting frustrating. I'll be honest. Like literally, this whole wait and see game is annoying. Put the information out there. Even if you're not going to open pre-orders, put it out there because people need to know how much to save, how much to have ready to go for launch day.
Have as much as you have for the last system plus 100. Like we've known these systems have been coming for so long, so you should have been saving regardless. I just don't think it's that big a deal. Like most people have already saved up probably $500 to $600 for the system. So as soon as it comes, boom, you have the date, you have the pre-order, you've been saving for it because you've known for so long that this system has been coming. It's not like we wait for pre-orders to start saving. Most people don't do that. Like if you've been saving for a console, you've been saving for a console.
I think people are having that anxiety of thinking they're not going to be able to pre-order it because we've had situations so long where like, hey, pre-orders open. Hey, pre-orders are closed now because we're sold out. And I think this is one of those times when people are just so nervous about not being able to get their pre-order in. Sony needs to come out and say, hey, we're going to have plenty of consoles for you guys to get. Don't worry about pre-orders. We're going to have plenty of consoles for everybody to get, at least be able to get one.
That may be also what they're doing is just waiting until they have a certain amount of stock to be able to really push pre-orders big because the hype is there.
I think this leak sounds legitimate. If this is true, I will say this. If this isn't true and the PS5 isn't this price, a lot of people are going to be disappointed.
Yeah, I agree because people are looking at that and getting really excited about those prices.
Yeah, because again, let me put it this way: $499 in the States means that the Disc version here will be $565. That's doable. I can do that. But if it's launching at $599 in the States, it's like $750 here, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I think these prices look reasonable. I
Yeah.
think it looks great. From everything that this leak says is perfect.
Yeah.
Too perfect. I will say that.
It is too perfect. I think it's also weird, like they're talking about being able to copy your games, save data, all that stuff using the Ethernet cable. Like, I think that's odd. It would be. I mean, I feel like, would you really want to copy all that stuff? I guess there's some people that probably would want to. I would imagine like you shouldn't need to do all that. You can just sign into the thing using your PSN, and you're linked up to your cloud where all your save stuff is anyway, right?
Yeah. Even the date, like November 20, that's the week before Thanksgiving. That sounds too perfect.
Yep.
Like everything about this sounds like on point and perfect. If Xbox is November 6th, this is November 20th. That's give Xbox a week to breathe, and then you drop your. This sounds perfect. Everything about this sounds great.
Yep. It does. Everything does. I mean, even the Blu-ray player actually being able to play Ultra HD is running faster, not playing audio CDs. Who the heck still has audio CDs? But
they already said that Ultra HD Blu-rays would be able to play.
Yeah.
So
I mean, everything in this leak feels like it could be legit, but you got to take it all with a grain of salt. But if this is like the absolute truth for everything, I'm excited. I think it's interesting that he included information about like the new the software being based on this free BSD stuff with the new browser and stuff like that. I'm like, that's odd, but okay. I don't know if people that actually use the PlayStation browser. Like, I'm surprised that's still a function.
The only time I used the browser was when there was that YouTube error. So, because the browser was better when you couldn't sign in.
Yeah.
I've used it once or twice, particularly to watch like Adult Swim.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say something else.
No, I don't use my PlayStation to watch that.
There was a report that showed that PlayStation was used very widely for such adult sites.
I will say this: I have 2 kids. I would look nuts watching adult sites in my living room on the PlayStation 4.
But there are people who don't have kids that have PlayStation 4s with web browsers and want theirs in high definition on their big screen TV in the living room.
So I'm sure everyone knows what we're talking about. How would you feel if they had an app for it on PS5?
I mean, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't use it.
I wouldn't use it either.
I mean,
it wouldn't bother me as long as they make it so kids can access it. Yeah.
Right. You gotta have an account. You gotta have parental supervision on stuff like that. Like, it should force you to create those things if you're gonna download an adult app. But to each his own, you know.
Yeah. I would never use it.
How do you guys feel about the hard drive size? That's been like a hot topic. People have been frustrated by it.
I hate it.
So me and Donnie had a long back and forth in our Discord about that. About people using, like, he wants to be able to just take his external that's plugged into his PS4 now and then just plug it into the PS5 and have everything work, because that's the way it works with the Xbox. I don't know very many people outside of some of us here who actually have externals hooked up to their system. So I don't know that a lot of people will be doing that. And then also with that, I'm wondering, like, for example, PS4 games. So Avengers, we're going to have it on PS4. Some of us will have it on an external. When you get the upgrade to the PS5 version, do you then have to put that on the internal driver? Can you still run that from the external?
I'm gonna go with you'll probably have to put it on the internal because it's a PS5 version. It would use the hybrid drive.
Yep, I'm thinking the same thing. And then it almost makes the external, unless you're playing really old games that aren't going to get an upgrade, it makes the external almost like negligible.
And again, like at this point, let me preface this with I know I'm in a position where I can do this. I'm not getting rid of my PS4 because if I want to play PS4 games, I'm literally just going to turn my PS4 on and play them there. But like there might be people who have to trade in their new console to get the new one, which, by the way, if you're doing that, don't go in at launch day. Literally do not. Don't, because games get delayed all the time. stuff happens, and you're gonna have maybe 2 things to play, and you'll get to the point where you beat them and have nothing to play. So don't do that if you have to trade in your system. Like, I know it's unfortunate you want to jump in with all the new stuff, but take it from someone who had to trade their PS3 to get into PS4. Don't do it, because there's like maybe a couple launch games that you'll get, and then you'll be out of stuff to play for months.
Well, I
So
mean, if they're able, if everything is backwards compatible, I mean, you could just download the stuff to an external and run them off the external.
sure,
So, I mean, there's cases to be made. I totally understand like not being able to play all the stuff that you already had because you're training the system. But hopefully, if this backwards
yeah,
compatibility actually works out the way it does, and if you can just install all your PS4 games on
yeah.
an
'Cause
external,
wasn't that part of the rumor too, that like pretty much everything will
yes,
work?
yeah. There's been a
Yeah,
lot of rumors about everything working. Some games may not work great, but everything that's on PS4 should be playable on PS5. And I
like
again
there's
hope that's the case.
I hope that's the case, but also there's pretty much like a rumor that unless it's a game that's only been played by like one person, it's gonna work fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really would like to see how much the external or the additional storage is going to cost. And I'm
Yeah,
just
so do I. I'll probably need it because let me tell you, Hitman comes out January 2021, and whoop, I'm jumping into that.
yeah, I'm wondering if like games like Call of Duty Warzone, Call of Duty, which is like a 300
Which,
gig game, are they gonna be
which,
able to optimize that for
yeah,
SSDs for this next generation of consoles? Like they've got to be able
which,
to find a way to get that file size down and take advantage of SSDs in PCs as well as on the PS5 and Xbox Series X.
like, let me just preface here with that file size is ridiculous, but also, fun fact: did you know that while Warzone is a separate download, if you own Modern Warfare, like the full Call of Duty
Yep.
game, you can't download Warzone separately.
Yeah.
You have to download the full game because
Yep.
it locks you out.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. Like that game is huge. Even Destiny is like 100 and something gigs. And I imagine if
Yeah, but
everything is going legit 4K, that means those assets typically are going to get bigger. So
yeah,
I'm praying that these companies are finding ways to optimize the actual install size of these games to take advantage of the faster storage medium so that they don't take up as much of a hard drive footprint. But we shall see what happens because I feel like that 700 gigs of available space will be eaten up pretty quick if some of these games are anything over 100 gigs.
Yeah, I get it though. Like you got to cut costs. I don't think you're gonna put a 2 terabyte hard drive SSD drive in a PS5.
Yeah,
You won't be able to. They literally can't afford to at this point. Especially if they're giving these consoles out at these prices. They literally can't afford it.
yeah, it's gonna be interesting. You getting the disk drive, Delvin?
And at $4.99, yes, I will.
you
Fair
already
enough.
knew. You already knew
Yeah,
my.
I knew you're getting it. Yeah,
Well, yeah, but again, also by the way, this author is a TERF, so just so we're clear, I already paid for these before that information became public.
I don't know what that is.
Harry
Yes,
Potter.
you do. Yeah.
Not know what Harry Potter is.
No, you know what a TERF is. I told you what it is in the Discord.
I am senile. Why do y'all not give my credit for my oldness?
Let me just preface: it's someone who thinks that I'm a man, which not the
Okay,
case.
gotcha.
I own 4K Blu-rays. I am definitely getting the 4K, like the disc drive version. So
Yeah, I'm just gonna buy a 4K Blu-ray player and call it a day. If my kids really want to watch 4K Blu-rays, but we pretty much watch everything digitally. We don't really do discs. I've become very lazy in my old age. There have been movies that I have on DVD and I'm like, I don't feel like getting a disc. I'm just gonna buy the digital version.
I mean,
It makes it
that's
easier for
fair.
my kids too.
I mostly watch everything on YouTube now because again, I literally just buy everything on Google Play and just watch it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Speaking of, by the way, I know that I recommend stuff like crazy, but Donnie recommended this film to me and I went and watched it immediately. If you're at all interested in like the history of the Tony Hawk video games, please go watch Pretending I'm a Superman because that is fantastic. It's like an hour long. It's available to rent on like Google Play or iTunes or Vudu or any of that. It delves into like the whole history of like skateboarding and how the Tony Hawk games got made and how like the industry got bigger because of the Tony Hawk games. It's very good. Like it's so good I bought it. Like that's
Cool.
how good that documentary is. So
Nice. So yeah, we've got some great rumors. Hoping that this Iron Man PS5 guy is correct about these things because everything here sounds fantastic. I would love it for it to be $399 for the digital, $499 for the full version. November 20th sounds like a great date. Yeah, PlayStation, we're just waiting on you to confirm anything. Give us some info. Hopefully, we get something at Gamescom, or we get another state of play like surprise state of play next week. PS5 info, that'd be great.
Actually, I think that's probably a likely chance. I think they'll probably come out right after Gamescom is over and be like, "Hey, here's the next state of play."
Yeah.
Okay.
If we don't actually get that, I mean, also this is huge wishful thinking. What if we get the pre-order information during Gamescom?
That'd be great too. That's what, next week, Saturday or not next week, Saturday?
It's the
27th. Yeah, that'd be
same day as the Control DLC.
Oh yeah, there is that.
Huh.
And also, tell me why.
Not playing that.
You're horrible.
I can't do those games.
That's fair. I'm very excited about that game because it features the trans man as the lead. So
Yeah,
that's only
cool.
on Xbox, right?
Yeah, it's on PC as well. So
that means it's only on Xbox for him.
Yeah, definitely not playing it on PC.
I mean, your PC is held together with duct tape, so who knows?
Yeah.
It'll be on Game Pass too, but if you want to wait, Delvin, like 2 weeks, because the full game will be out on September 10th. There's only 3 episodes, and they're releasing a week apart. So
Okay,
that's what's up. All right, well, that's gonna do it here for the PlayStation Experience episode 47. We are getting close to 50, ladies and gentlemen. This is awesome. Hope you guys.
A year.
Yeah.
Hey, let's see how long I can go without missing an episode, because you two have missed plenty.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
That's life.
That is, I know that's a weird thing, but that's like a point of pride for me that I haven't missed an episode yet. So
absolutely, I wish I could say the same, but that's what's up.
Hey, life happens. It sucks, but it happens.
Yeah, we're getting a whole lot of life in 2020.
Okay, you have a question. What's up?
Are we doing anything for episode 50?
Why would we do anything for episode 50?
Because it's 50.
Episode 50.
I mean, if you want to do anything, why wouldn't we do anything for episode 52? That's a year.
Because nobody celebrates episode 52. They do 50 and then 100 and then 200.
Yes. Just because DC had that garbage new 52 doesn't mean we have to follow.
I mean, we're almost like the DC cast with y'all. So
yeah,
I wasn't even bringing up New 52 because New 52 is garbage. Aside from the Supergirl run, because that was fantastic. So
yeah,
it brought us the World Killers, which is a fantastic storyline. So
yeah.
Oh, and also Red Lantern Kara, which Dev has no idea what that is, but would most suitably be a character that Dev would be. Red Lanterns are fueled by rage, so
he gets angry.
He does.
Wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
He would most definitely be a Red Lantern.
Dev gets indecisive. He's like, whatever. I don't care anymore.
I don't think I'd be a Red Lantern. I'm more like keep it calm and cool and just real shady on the back end. Like, you don't know what I'm thinking.
So a White Lantern then.
Sure, there's a White Lantern. I've only known red, yellow, and green.
There are
red, yellow, green, white,
blue,
yellow,
pink.
There's a lot.
There's a whole spectrum of ring colors, and they each have a different emotion tied to them.
Yes.
This is why I live in the Marvel land. Everything there makes sense to me.
I mean, no, it doesn't, because
I said to me. I said to me.
Hey, the Infinity Stones do worse, so
I'm okay with the Infinity Stones. Thanos is stupid though. Like, why snapping? Just kill off half. Just make more. Infinite. You have the Infinity Stones. Like, why? You're just an ass. That's why. You just want to see the world burn. That's basically what it is. You're just an ass.
Maybe Thanos.
No. That's fine, because they couldn't do this in the cinematic universe because they didn't own like Fox yet, so they couldn't do like this. But in the comics, the reason he does the whole snap is to try and impress Death. Meanwhile, Death is full on in love with Deadpool.
Yeah.
So,
I think that was their original plan, was to court Death, because I think there was even like mention of that in like the very beginning of it, and then it just changed to something totally different.
I think originally Hela was supposed to be Death,
mm-hmm.
but that didn't work out. So
no. Anyways, this has been episode 47 of the PlayStation Experience. We hope you enjoyed yourself here, and all of our wonderful tangents and
Tangent
shenanigans. It's what we do best. If you enjoyed your time here, we invite you to just come take a look at our Patreon at patreon.com/PSVG. And for just $3 a month, you can help Delvin feed his kids and listen to the Strong Style podcast.
Yes.
But yeah, man, if you enjoy our content, check out our Patreon. We've got, I think there's 80 something episodes in the Patreon feed right now, and there's only going to be more. So $3 a month is just a great deal, and it helps us just create more content that we love to share with you guys.
There's the great new format for DLC, which is like interviews one-on-one with the cast. So
Yep. DLC is great.
All of them have been great.
We're recording another one, I believe, this Saturday. It's not going to be an interview one. It's going to be like more of a return to our old stuff, just as a breakup of all the interviews. But it's good times. Good times. And with that, we just want to give a special thank you to our producers. Edwin Callow, Barry Cathcart, Josh the Bonesaw Bourbon, Chris McElfresh, myself, Kyle Hyman, Paul Kellicote, Michael Masick, Croce Surge, and Nick Fall Harbor. Thank you all for joining us in the journey that is PSVG. And with that, where can the people find you, Hayley?
You can find me over on Twitter at ShepardZarel. You can also find me on your gaming platform of choice at Hayley Zarel. Actually had someone add me from listening to the podcast this week. So that was good. Find me over at twitch.tv/Hayley Zarel. Now, am I going to torture myself? And also, I'm making a challenge to the two of you that I know neither of you will actually participate in.
Damn right.
They added a new mode to The Last of Us Part 2. Who's doing it? Because
So what?
there is permadeath now. I'm not even talking about Grounded because I'm not playing that game on Grounded. The Rat King can go stuff itself. I challenge both of you to play through that game on permadeath.
Why? I would die way too soon and it'd be over. I'm not for what?
I don't know, because there are different modes you can set for permadeath. It's not just straight permadeath. You can do straight permadeath, or you can set it to redo by chapters, or like separate. I forget what it is, but there's 3 settings for it. So I challenge you to play through it on permadeath. I know you two don't care about the trophies, but I want to see who beats it first.
Can I play permadeath easy?
Yes, you can put it on any difficulty and play through the game on permadeath, and you can set it so that when you die, you only lose like 30 minutes of progress. You're not going back to the beginning of the game. Because by the way, anybody who manages to beat this game on permadeath with like full on permadeath, like straight up, like, hey, you die, you're right back at the beginning, you're crazy. Good luck with the Rat King, because that boss fight is ridiculous.
I might try to have to go to Tsushima.
Like, it's in the settings mode. Like, there's Grounded too. I'm not playing on Grounded. That's ridiculous. It turns your HUD off for one, which, I mean, that's not a big deal because that game is really pretty and you don't really need the HUD anyways. But it also turns like your health indicator off, so no, like you have no idea what your health is or ammo. And also supplies are so limited that like good luck getting through the first area, like the tutorial area. Good luck getting through it.
Yeah, that'll be a no from me, dog.
Yeah, the permadeath stuff doesn't affect like what's available. It's just there for a challenge, which again, I challenge the two of you. I know you don't care about the trophy. I do, but I want to see who can beat it first.
Yeah.
Also,
if you get the platinum for Ghost of Tsushima, then I'll try this challenge of yours. So I challenge you that first.
All right, don't. I still have Ghosts installed. Don't test me. I will do it. I will do it just to make you suffer.
Well, I challenge you to make me some muffins and send them to the United States. If you do that, then I will try it.
Hey, I hate to inform you, but shipping muffins over the border right now
Dry
means
ice. Risk it.
A, you can't buy dry ice in Canada unless you have a permit. I don't think you knew that.
Permit?
You have to have a permit to buy dry ice. It's a controlled substance here.
What?
Don't ask. I don't know why, but it's a controlled substance here. Anyways, my point being was I'm going to stream me playing Permadeath Last of Us eventually. But this week, I am streaming the controlled DLC when it comes out. So you can find me over on twitch.tv/HayleyZarel. Sorry for tangenting us, but
it's all good.
So if you buy dry ice in Canada, they like breaking your house and arrest you and stuff and throw you on the floor.
Well, no, because if you buy it, you have the permit.
Yeah, exactly.
If you don't have the permit, they just
You can't buy it.
You don't have the permit, you can't buy it. There's not like black market websites.
You have to.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm trying to figure out. That's what I'm trying to figure out. There's some black market where they're selling dry ice. There's some guy around the corner like, hey, I got that dry ice, homie.
Okay, see,
You
you've lost
wish
your
that's
mind.
how that worked.
Where can the people find you, Delvin?
You can find me on Twitter at Delvin_Cox. Or you can find me in your local hood trying to buy dry ice.
Clearly. Shenanigans. You can find me at DatNinjaDev pretty much everywhere except for on PSN where I am DatNinjaDev2 and I'm too lazy to change it. And with that,
I mean it's free for you though.
it is free, but it's work. I'm good with the two. Doesn't bother me.
Okay.
And with that, play has no limits.
This has been a production of the Play Some Video Games Podcast Network.